Ji-hoon is facing the worst moment of his life, shattering his dignity and self-respect. He fell to his knees before his enemy, lost his honor in front of his favorite girl, and the most humiliating part was that it was his enemy who defended his honor. Remembering all of this, Ji-hoon starts breaking from within, but then he comes across a video from Chicken Brother that gives him strength. In the video, it is said that if someone trains in a specific way for a month, they can become capable of fighting ordinary people. Following Chicken Brother's training video, Ji-hoon decides to increase his physical strength. The first step is to build a strong body. Ji-hoon starts consuming more protein daily so that his muscles can develop. Because just having techniques isn't enough. One also needs a strong body that can endure blows. Since expensive protein powder is beyond his budget, he starts making meat paste and drinking it like a liquid. The second step is mental strength. Just consuming protein doesn't build muscles. Proper weight training is also essential. Ji-hoon pushes his willpower and pushes his body to its limits every day. The third and most crucial step is increasing stamina. According to Chicken Brother, the best way to build endurance is swimming. However, Ji-hoon cannot go to a swimming pool because there are girls there, and he doesn't feel comfortable, so he goes to a public bathhouse and swims for hours. He doesn't just swim. He ties his hands, clenches his fists, and swims to maximize strength and endurance. But Chicken Brother tells him that even if he trains for a month, his body won't change as much as he had hoped. That's why he needs to learn a technique as well. A journalist once asked a fighting champion what the best fighting technique would be if a weak person were attacked by a bully. The champion didn't say boxing or martial arts. Instead, he said the most important technique is the calf kick. And now, this special technique was what Chicken Brother was about to teach Ji-hoon. The story begins at Ji-hoon's school, where a boy named Baego has a massive following of 700k. Every day, Baego forces Ji-hoon to put on clown makeup and brings him onto his stream to entertain his audience. One day, during just a single lunch break, Baego managed to earn a donation of 30,000 yoon, but he didn't give Ji-hoon a single penny from it. In fact, if Ji-hoon expressed his emotions the wrong way, he would even get beaten up. After lunch, Ji-hoon goes to the washroom to wash off his clown makeup and wonders why the world is so unfair to him. Baego, who is a stupid guy, earns thousands just by live streaming, and another boy, Lu Mei, is becoming famous just because of his looks. But Ji-hoon has no money, no brains, and no future. As soon as Ji-hoon returns to class, another bully, Hwang Mao, kicks him in the stomach and starts beating him hard. Hwang Mao is Bago's cameraman, and because of this, he also has a good reputation in class. For him, staying with Baego is a profitable deal. On the other hand, Lu Mei is flattering Baego because Baego once live-streamed him, which instantly went viral, and he also earned money. Hwang Mao also thought about earning money, but his parents blocked his account because he had already spent all the household money. Then, an idea struck him. He could use Ji-hoon's mother's account to earn money. Ji-hoon is furious inside, but his mother is hospitalized due to cancer, so he stays silent. After school, he goes to the hospital, where his mother lies to him, saying that her health is improving and she will be home soon. On the other hand, Ji-hoon also lies to her, saying that school is going well, and he is earning good money. But in reality, he only had 30,000 yuan, which he spent on his mother's hospital bill, and now he has no money left. Ji-hoon works at a fast food restaurant where his crush, Bao Wei, also works. Just by looking at her from behind, Ji-hoon feels happy, but then Baego arrives and starts making a video of Bao Wei, intending to make it viral. He secretly starts live streaming and asks for Bao Wei's number. Ji-hoon panics but decides to stand up against Baego. He knows that when he returns to school he will be beaten badly, but he thinks there's no point in worrying since he gets beaten at school anyway. However, the respect in Bao Wei's eyes for him changes. At night, Ji-hoon lets Hwang Mao come to his house and allows him to live stream using his mother's account. Ji-hoon even makes ramen for him while Hwang Mao is playing PUBG on the live stream. Then a VIP viewer says that if Hwang Mao gets 30 kills, he will donate 30,000 yuan. Hwang Mao had already gotten 28 kills, but just then Ji-hoon brings the ramen, and the mouse slips from Hwang Mao's hand, causing him to lose the game. Hwang Mao, in anger, starts cursing Ji-hoon. But when he insults Ji-hoon's mother, a different kind of energy surges within Ji-hoon. He picks up a kimchi container from the ground and throws it directly at Hwang Mao's face. Then, he throws his first punch, an uppercut like Shoryuken. This is Ji-hoon's first fight, and he realizes that fighting isn't as difficult as he thought. Hwang Mao runs away, but a big problem arises. The live stream button at Ji-hoon's house was on, and the entire fight was broadcast live. When Ji-hoon cut the power at night to save electricity, the platform's system automatically made the fight scene go viral. When Ji-hoon wakes up the next morning, his phone is ringing continuously. Hwang Mao calls and says that his fight video has gone viral and he needs to delete it immediately. But when Ji-hoon checks, the video has already crossed 1 million views, which means he has earned 100,000 yuan. Without wasting any time, Ji-hoon goes straight to the hospital and pays his mother's bill. On the other hand, Hwang Mao feels humiliated in front of everyone at school as they mock him. Now, he sets his sights on another weak boy as his new target. Ji-hoon checks his platform platform and sees that his views have reached 10 million, which means he is about to earn 1 million yuan. But then, the first blow hits him. Huang Mao comes demanding half of the money. After the fight between Ji-hoon and Huang Mao realizes that he won't get a single penny. After getting beaten, he sits on a bench with Ji-hoon, but then he takes out his phone and shows that he had secretly recorded their fight. He says that his filming skills are so good that even secretly recorded videos look engaging. Therefore, he wants to collaborate with Ji-hoon and start a proper fight streaming business. Ji-hoon feels hesitant because he never thought he could earn money this way. Seeing this, Huang Mao asks him if he hasn't earned anything from his viral video yet. Because the process is very long, video approval, editing, direction, and content creation are all very important. He explains that Bagay is also popular because his filming and planning are very strong. Ji-hoon just needs to show up and Huang Mao will handle everything. Then they discuss profit sharing, where Huang Mao initially demands 90%, leaving only 10% for Ji-hoon. Without thinking, Ji-hoon refuses, saying that if that's the case, he'd rather continue working at the fast food restaurant. Seeing this, Huang Mao immediately changes his offer to a 90-10 split, but this time, Ji-hoon gets 90% and Huang Mao gets 10%. On the live stream, Ji-hoon takes off his shirt and shows the bruises on his body, which are proof of Bagay's bullying. He shows that Bagay only pretends to be a good student in front of the camera, but in reality, he is a thug. But Bagay remains calm because his phone dies and the stream ends. However, Ji-hoon and Huang Mao were already prepared. They were secretly live streaming from another phone. Ji-hoon now understands that people don't just like watching bullying, they also want drama and fights. But when he faces Bagay, his confidence wavers upon seeing Bagay's muscular body and tattoos. He wishes someone would save him, but everyone is just watching the spectacle. Then Bagay says something that makes Ji-hoon furious. The difference in body strength between Bagay and Ji-hoon is so vast that Ji-hoon's fight has no effect, but the viewers get very engaged and the stream's viewership doubles. Ji-hoon realizes what real fighting is. When Bagay is about to land a powerful punch on him, another student who was hiding in a corner of the class speaks up. He tells Bagay to keep quiet and not disturb him. At first, Bagay ignores him, but when the student reveals his face, everyone is shocked. That boy is a professional MMA fighter who is popular among new fighters. Seeing this, Bagay immediately backs off and leaves Ji-hoon alone. After this fight, Ji-hoon gains many new followers who were previously Bagay's fans. Bagay goes home, relieved that his phone was dead. Otherwise, Ji-hoon would have completely exposed him. But as soon as he charges his phone and opens social media, he finds insults everywhere. His followers drastically decrease. The next day, Ji-hoon uploads his viral fight clip separately, and it becomes a trending topic. Bagay's old fake charity videos are also dug up, and people further expose him. Because of this, Bagay's career is almost over, and Ji-hoon becomes even more famous. He directly gains over 100,000 new followers. Huang Mao tells Ji-hoon that the length of the video determines the earnings, because the platform places ads on longer videos, which leads to higher earnings. Therefore, if Ji-hoon wants to afford his mother's hospital bills, the next fight should last at least 3 minutes. Thinking this, Ji-hoon searches online for how to learn self-defense and fighting. He finds an anonymous account that creates fighting tutorials, but it has no followers. Still, Ji-hoon plays a random video. It's a foreigner wearing a chicken mask, and he teaches that the most important aspect of winning a fight is mindset. His first rule is, never get emotional. If a fighter cannot control their emotions, they are not fighting. They are just throwing punches in anger. If you can make your opponent emotional, your chances of winning increase. Ji-hoon finds this interesting, but when the chicken-masked fighter starts teaching the no-pain fight technique, Ji-hoon thinks it's all nonsense. He stops watching and goes to sleep. The next day, Ji-hoon goes to resign from the fast food restaurant because he now has the desire to earn money from fight streaming. As he is taking off his apron, Bao Wei arrives and tells him that exposing Bagay was very impressive. She wants to give Ji-hoon her contact information. After returning to school, Ji-hoon is busy chatting with his new followers and Bao Wei. Then, Huang Mao comes over and asks him how it feels to have new followers. Ji-hoon says that he's just earning more money, but otherwise he doesn't feel anything special. Meanwhile, another popular streamer from the class, Lu Mei, approaches Ji-hoon and asks, "Will you do a live stream with me?" But just as Ji-hoon is enjoying himself, Bagay returns to the classroom. He is very angry because Ji-hoon has almost ended his career. Now, he wants to destroy Ji-hoon at any cost. Then, Ji-hoon remembers what the chicken-masked fighter taught him last night. If you make your opponent emotional, your chances of winning increase. As soon as Bagay throws a punch, Ji-hoon easily dodges it. Seeing this, he becomes confident and decides to properly follow the chicken-masked fighter's training. Then, Huang Mao arrives with the camera. Bagay realizes that if he fights now, his image will be further tarnished, so he leaves the classroom. Ji-hoon is shocked that he dodged the punch. Now, he wants to learn more and decides to take the chicken-masked fighter's training seriously. Ji-hoon is now fully prepared to test the technique techniques taught by the chicken-masked fighter, Ji-ge. His first target is the small couple gang that took his phone. He turns on the live stream and sets out to find them. According to the first rule of Ji-ge's no-pain fight technique, Ji-hoon first observes which hand his opponent is using to strike. If the opponent is right-handed, Ji-hoon positions himself on the left side to easily read the attack trajectory. Usually, people who have never had proper martial arts training throw wide and uncontrolled punches. Therefore, maintaining some distance from the opponent increases reaction time and reduces the impact. Ji-hoon uses this trick. When the opponent's punch comes, he blocks it with his forehead because the peak force occurs at the moment of contact. If the forehead is used before the punch reaches peak power, the pain is reduced. Ji-hoon tightens his jaw, tenses his muscles, and uses his head as a weapon. The effect is that the opponent's hand turns red, but Ji-hoon doesn't feel much pain. In the live chat, an experienced viewer writes that the opponent's hand is swelling and he will soon feel the pain. But at that moment, due to the adrenaline rush, the pain is slow to set in. Finally, Ji-hoon successfully retrieves his phone, but his face also looks terrible, as if someone has turned it into a pig's head. A week later, a short clip from his stream goes viral and crosses 1 million views. His income is approved, and he directly earns 2 million yuan. But Ji-hoon is confused, because if one view is worth 0.1 yuan, he should have had a total of 25 million views. Huang Mao explains that advertisement monetization only happens when the video is properly approved. If any content's approval is delayed, no earnings are generated from the views during that period. Ji-hoon understands that if he wants to earn more money, he will have to create even more violent and extreme content. But Huang Mao outright rejects this idea. He explains that in the platform's yellow tag system, if a video is too violent or inappropriate, its monetization can be disabled. Therefore, they have to carefully create each video. Then they see Lu Mei doing a live stream. Huang Mao thinks that Lu Mei is trying to lure Ji-hoon's fans to her side. Meanwhile, Ji-hoon stops at a fashion store where a stylish sports jacket is displayed. At first, he thinks the jacket's price will be between 30,000 to 40,000 yuan, but when he goes closer to check the price, he is shocked. The jacket costs 140,000 yuan. Huang Mao spends all the salary he has earned so far on this one jacket. Seeing this, Ji-hoon realizes that he has become rich, but his mindset is still that of a poor person. Then, he gets a notification on his phone. Bao Wei has made plans to go out with him. Seeing this, he impulsively buys the 140,000 yuan jacket. But as soon as he wears the jacket, he feels strange. He hasn't yet adjusted to the lifestyle of having new money. He feels like people are judging him, so he starts a live stream. But then, some people recognize him and say that he is someone who earns money by exposing his classmates. Hearing this, Ji-hoon feels even more uncomfortable. Another streamer, known as Red Hair, is taking selfies with his fans. Then, his eyes fall on a gorgeous girl, and he tries to impress her. But the girl ignores him because she is Bao Wei, who is waiting for Ji-hoon. Ji-hoon realizes that the jacket he impulsively bought and Bao Wei's outfit match, making them look like a couple. Bao Wei takes Ji-hoon to a fancy cafe. At the cafe, people start gossiping when they see Ji-hoon and Bao Wei. One guy comments, "The girl is very beautiful, but she's on a date with such a short guy. Isn't that embarrassing for her?" Hearing this, Ji-hoon becomes even more nervous and takes off his jacket so they don't look like a couple. Seeing all this, Bao Wei silently notices that Ji-hoon is feeling insecure. When they sit at the table, Bao Wei casually asks Ji-hoon about his hobbies and likes. But Ji-hoon remains very reserved and only gives generic answers. Seeing this, Bao Wei is disappointed and starts to leave. Then, Ji-hoon finally expresses his true feelings. "I don't have any special interests. I just watch random videos, I don't have any friends, and I mostly stay at home. But I really want to have dinner with you. You are so beautiful that when you're in front of me, I can't even eat properly." Hearing this, Bao Wei smiles, and the awkwardness between them disappears. They go for a walk in the park, and Bao Wei casually mentions that she has an old childhood friend nearby. She says that she and her friend Jin Wenqing were very close during school, but they lost contact after some time. Ji-hoon is shocked because Jin Wenqing is the MMA fighter from his class. "Oh, you know him?" Bao Wei casually asks. Ji-hoon hesitates and says, "Yes, a little." Then Jin Wenqing turns around and says, "By the way, you fight well. I watch your live streams. The forehead block strategy you used was very smart, but I think you hid some moves on purpose just for the show?" Ji-hoon is shocked. Does someone else also know Jiga's techniques? Jin Wenqing leaves, but Ji-hoon starts having new doubts. Is Jiga's training really effective? And is someone else also learning his secret methods? Just as Ji-hoon is thinking about all this, he notices something strange. Huang Mao is hiding behind a bush, secretly live streaming. Ji-hoon immediately catches him, but then he notices that Huang Mao's face is red and swollen from being beaten. While Ji-hoon is trying to understand all this, Ba-ge delivers a powerful kick, throwing Huang Mao far away, and appears with his team. With him are two other thugs who have never appeared in his live streams before. Ji-hoon tells Bao Wei to leave, but Ba-ge doesn't give him any chance. Ji-hoon impulsively wants to attack Ba-ge, but then he remembers an important piece of advice from Ji-ge. Never fight in anger, or you will lose control of your emotions. Ji-hoon wants to provoke Ba-ge so that he loses control, but then he remembers something else. Jiga said in his videos that if you rely on the no pain fight technique again after using it once, you are an idiot, because this technique can easily be broken with an uppercut. But Jihoon's problem was that he had only watched a limited number of Jige's lessons. Therefore, he doesn't know any other effective way to block Bage's attacks. His only option left is to take the hits. Bage is live streaming and forces Huang Mao to hold the camera. Then Bao Wei finally resists and slaps Bage hard. Seeing this, Bage becomes even angrier. He turns the camera away and says that he will now directly punish Bao Wei. Jihoon has only one option left: to sacrifice the last bit of his dignity. Jihoon immediately takes off his pants. This is a move that could instantly ban Bage's live streaming account because, according to the platform's policies, showing such inappropriate content leads to a permanent ban. Bage is shocked and steps back, but then Jin Wenqing, who is a rising MMA star, arrives after watching Bage's live stream. Jihoon's self-respect is gone, but Jin Wenqing's arrival completely changes the situation. Jin Wenqing effortlessly defeats Bage and his thugs. Then he asks Bao Wei if she is okay, but Bao Wei's eyes are on Jihoon. Jin Wenqing understands that the biggest insult for Jihoon is that the girl he likes is seeing him in this state. Therefore, he directly takes Bao Wei's hand and leaves with her. Jihoon is completely shattered inside. A small girl with short hair who is secretly watching Jihoon starts crying because she knows how painful it must be for someone to destroy their own dignity just to survive. After this humiliating defeat, Bage changes his tactics. Now, he appears on daily live streams and only fights with trolls, aggressively roasting them. This new approach attracts new fans, but this time, his target is not Jihoon, but Huang Mao. Jihoon stops going to school. Even Bao Wei can't contact him because he is only doing one thing: following Jiga's training. According to Jiga's new lessons, Jihoon has to train for a month. Muscle development. Jihoon starts consuming as much protein as possible and tries to turn his body into a human shield. Willpower training. Just eating protein isn't enough, so he does daily weightlifting and resistance training. Stamina boost. The best stamina workout is swimming, so he swims for hours, but not in an open pool because there are too many people, and he doesn't feel comfortable. But Jiga tells him one more important thing. Even if you train for a month, your body or stamina won't change much. You will also need to learn fighting techniques. Once, a journalist asked a fighting champion what the best fighting technique would be for a beginner who is being bullied. The champion didn't say boxing, he said the best technique is calf kicks. Now, Jiga starts teaching Jihoon the calf kick technique. After a month of training, Jihoon is fully prepared. On the other hand, Huang Mao is being beaten by Bage daily at school. Bage plans to call Jihoon on a live stream to reach 100 million views. If his subscriber count reaches 1 million, he will make Huang Mao his cameraman again. Huang Mao goes to the hospital and tries to get Jihoon's mother's address. At first, he lies, saying that he is Jihoon's close friend and is very worried about him, but Jihoon's mother doesn't fall for this trick. Still, Huang Mao finally gets Jihoon's address, but the next morning at school, he lies to Bage, saying that Jihoon wasn't there. In reality, Huang Mao has started to respect Jihoon and doesn't want him to get involved in unnecessary fights again. But Bage doesn't accept this. He starts beating Huang Mao again and challenges Jihoon on the live stream, saying that if he cares about his friends, he should come and fight him. Then, Jihoon finally appears at the classroom door. He throws his phone towards Huang Mao and says, "Start the live stream. This will be my real fight." Baga is shocked, but Jihoon now has a new confidence. His expression shows that this time, everything is going to change. But in reality, Jihoon is feeling extremely nervous inside. The lines he had spoken were written on his hand beforehand so that he could appear confident. His challenge makes Bage angry, and as soon as Bage attacks, Jihoon uses his no pain fight technique. Bage finds this very entertaining because after the last live stream, everyone knew that this technique could be broken with an uppercut. But Bage doesn't realize that Jihoon is using this technique as a trap at this time. As soon as Bage underestimates Jihoon, Jihoon lands a low kick. At first, Bage laughs because he thinks Jihoon is kicking the wrong place. Low kicks usually land on the thigh. But then an old fight enthusiast who was in the live chat earlier comments, "That was the right kick. You guys don't know anything about fighting." Jin Wenqing, the MMA fighter, also confirms this. He says that Jihoon used the professional level low kick technique correctly. This is different from the traditional low kick, which builds pain slowly. The calf kick causes direct pain. Bage initially laughs it off, but he starts feeling a sharp pain in his legs. Jin Wenqing had already guessed that Jihoon would combine the no pain fight technique with the calf kick. Jihoon continuously uses calf kicks, and Bage starts to avoid them. Huang Mao, who is live streaming, is shocked and shouts, "Bro, this is next level fighting!" But then a problem arises. Bage finally figures out how to counterattack and breaks Jihoon's strategy. The audience also starts mocking Jihoon. "Did you only learn one move in a month?" But Jiga's teachings already had the answer. If you only learn one move, the chances of being countered are higher. But if you learn a second move, an unexpected attack becomes possible. And that's exactly what happens. Ji-hoon has improved his punching strength through swim training. He lands a powerful punch and knocks Ba-ge down. Baga's two thugs are ready to attack Ji-hoon, but then Hwang Mao intervenes. Baga's thugs stop, not because of Hwang Mao, but because Jin Wencheng is standing behind them. After this, Baga stops coming to school. He officially loses his popularity and dominance. This time, Ji-hoon buys a new dress worth 180,000 yuan for his mother with the money he earned. Because he doesn't want his mother to feel stressed seeing the price, he removes the price tag and tells her that he got it cheap in an online sale. Then, his mother casually mentions that a friend came to their house. Hwang Mao, who was secretly listening outside, immediately feels awkward. Ji-hoon finally realizes that fight-based live streaming is a very profitable niche. From one fight clip, he directly earns 1 million yuan. Therefore, he officially starts street fight streams. One day, a fan contacts him and tells him that another fighter, who was once a professional, is now extorting money from school students every day. When this guy takes money from someone and they refuse, his friend beats them up. Therefore, they are not using physical force but psychological abuse. Ji-hoon thinks this is perfect content. But before starting this stream, Hwang Mao suggests finding a professional video editor, because if the same type of content is posted repeatedly, the audience might get bored. Ji-hoon and Hwang Mao plan to hire a video editor by doing a live stream. Surprisingly, a fight enthusiast who was active on their stream earlier applies. When Ji-hoon and Hwang Mao meet this person, they are shocked. The person who talked about online fights is actually a very cute girl. Hwang Mao is immediately impressed and starts thinking about their future bachelor pad. But Ji-hoon remains focused. He wants to check the girl's skills. The girl shows Ji-hoon her edited version, which is very professional and engaging. She has made the intro engaging and included live chat comments in the edit. Ji-hoon likes the edit, but he feels something is missing. Then the girl casually reveals something shocking. "It takes me double the time to edit your videos because when you take off your pants, too much body hair is visible." Ji-hoon wants to understand one more thing. Why doesn't such a talented girl work with a big creator? The girl explains that when she first saw Ji-hoon, he was fighting against Ba-ge. She knew that Ji-hoon would easily get beaten, but he was still fighting. At that time, she decided that Ji-hoon was interesting and wanted to know more about him. Then, she started watching Ji-hoon's live streams and eventually began secretly following him. And now, she has officially come to be part of Ji-hoon's editing team. The girl reveals her name, Kyu-teun. Ji-hoon officially hires her. After this, Ji-hoon and his team plan their next fight. They need to target a Taekwondo fighter named Chung Tai-chun, who is an old professional fighter. Hwang Mao is initially excited because, according to him, Taekwondo is a weak fighting style. But Kyu-teun explains to him that Taekwondo is of two types, one that is point-based and another that is full combat mode. Chung Tai-chun is an expert in full combat mode. His most powerful move is the spinning back kick. Ji-hoon becomes nervous hearing this. But then, Ji-ge's next training video arrives, How to Beat Taekwondo Fighters. Hwang Mao plans to stalk Chung Tai-chun. Chung Tai-chun is a dangerous guy who tortures people just for fun. He once demanded 1 million yuan from a boy, but his real motive wasn't to take money. He just wanted a reason to beat the boy more. Hwang Mao, who was secretly stalking Tai-chun, becomes very scared after seeing all this. He realizes one more thing. If Ji-hoon picks a fight with Tai-chun, the first one to get beaten will be Hwang Mao. Tai-chun doesn't attack the target directly. He always tortures the target's friends or people around them first. Hwang Mao secretly observes everything, but then Tai-chun starts looking directly at him. Hwang Mao immediately steps back and somehow escapes. When he returns, Hwang Mao tells Ji-hoon everything. At first, both think they are safe, but they are wrong. In reality, Chang Tai-chun already knew that Hwang Mao was stalking him. He intentionally follows Hwang Mao to see what plan he is making. Then, Tai-chun directly approaches Ji-hoon and offers him a deal. "I want your live streaming account. If you don't give it to me, I will beat Hwang Mao every day." Ji-hoon now clearly understands the difference between a professional fighter and a casual fighter. Ji-hoon first tries the calf kick strategy, but Chung Tai-chun easily counters it. Realizing that he cannot physically defeat Chung Tai-chun, Ji-hoon finally prepares to surrender his account. But Ji-hoon's phone is at home, so he asks Tai-chun for some time. Hwang Mao in the hospital, and Ji-hoon's dilemma. With just one back kick, Chung Tai-chun breaks Hwang Mao's ribs. He is immediately hospitalized. Ji-hoon finally realizes that he cannot win the fight. Therefore, he is ready to give his account to Tai-chun. But Hwang Mao is very disappointed with this decision. He says, "You are the same guy who stood up against Ba-ge. You are the same guy who was ready to fight, and now you are giving away your dignity?" Ji-hoon simply replies, "Dignity doesn't fill the stomach." He says that fighting a monster is not within his capabilities. Ji-hoon leaves the hospital, but then Kyu-teun arrives and starts spending time with Hwang Mao. Hwang Mao tells her that he doesn't want to show his weak state in front of her. Then, Ji-hoon hears Hwang Mao crying outside, and his mind changes. Ji-hoon goes to a gaming arcade where Chung Tai-chun usually plays fighting games. Ji-hoon deliberately fights Tai-chun in an online game. Chung Tai-chun always selects the Taekwondo character. Ji-hoon easily defeats Taichun in the game and directly says Taekwondo is a weak martial art. Hearing this, Chung Taichun gets triggered. Ji-hoon tells him that he will give his live streaming account, but on one condition: give me 1 month. Ji-hoon starts watching Jigae's videos again. Jiga says, a normal guy cannot defeat a professional Taekwondo fighter, but if the ring rules are removed, the fight can be controlled. Jiga's main strategy is, the best way to defeat Taekwondo fighters is to restrict their kicks. Jiga says, if you fight in a small and slippery place, Taekwondo fighters won't be able to properly use their techniques. Ji-hoon now waits for a rainy day to execute his plan against Taichun. Jiga's next technique is the leg grab slam, where if the opponent is kicking, you grab their leg and slam them to the ground. Jiga says using this technique increases the win rate from 5% to 40% from Ji-hoon's practice session begins. But Hwang Mao and Kyutian go to his house and see that he is doing a strange training where he practices movements inside a small closet. After a month of training, the fight between Ji-hoon and Chung Taichun is about to happen. Ji-hoon is thinking that it will rain today, so his plan can be executed perfectly. But when he goes to fight, the weather is clear and the sun is shining. Ji-hoon realizes that if the environment doesn't change, he will lose. Therefore, he doesn't fight but runs away. Everyone is shocked, but Ji-hoon is actually executing his strategy. He goes into the bathroom and starts spraying water from a pipe. Ji-hoon has created an artificial slippery battleground. At first, Taichun underestimates him, but as soon as he steps on the slippery floor, his balance starts to falter. But Ji-hoon underestimates Taichun. Taichun is not just a leg fighter. His hand-to-hand combat is also strong. Ji-hoon now has to think of another tactic, but he has one last trump card. He wears special shoes that can maintain grip even on slippery ground. Now, Ji-hoon is finally ready for an even battle. Ji-hoon's original plan was to use the slippery surface to restrict Taichun's movements, but he realizes something shocking. A professional fighter is not just trained for stable grounds. Taichun has adapted his footwork in such a way that he can maintain speed even on a slippery surface. When Ji-hoon was fighting Ba-ge, he had the option to escape, but this time he feels like he can't run away. In the live chat, a viewer comments, "Look, Taichun's every step seems slippery, but he is actually adjusting his stance." Ji-hoon realizes that he has only one option left, calf kicks, but he knows that this won't work against Taichun, yet he has no other option. Therefore, he repeatedly uses calf kicks, which makes Hwang Mao cringe. But Ji-hoon's real plan is to surprise Taichun with a powerful punch when he lowers his guard. This is the same technique he used against Ba-ge, and this plan almost succeeds. According to Jigae's teachings, to defeat a Taekwondo fighter, you need to control their kicks, and the best move is the leg grab slam. Ji-hoon finally grabs Taichun's leg at the perfect moment and tries to slam him to the ground. But there's a problem. Ji-hoon had used this move on Ba-ge before, and he had fallen. Jigae's video had explained that people fail the leg slam because they only grab the leg, not the knee joint. But Ji-hoon has improved the technique this time. Ji-hoon properly grabs Taichun's knee joint and slams him to the ground. Now, Ji-hoon has a chance. According to Jiga, if you knock your opponent down, you need to control them for 10 seconds so they can't get up. And Ji-hoon does exactly that. But in the live chat, a dangerous comment appears. "Idiot Taichun is letting this happen on purpose." Ji-hoon finally thinks that he has won by knocking Taichun to the ground, but he makes a big mistake. He gets too excited. Jiga's first training had an important rule: never be overconfident. Always execute every step slowly and methodically. In his overconfidence, Ji-hoon tries to control Taichun before securing his guard. And this was Taichun's plan. Ji-hoon doesn't even realize when Taichun notices his special shoes. A live viewer comments, "This idiot is losing his biggest advantage," and that's exactly what happens. Ji-hoon thinks about using the leg grab slam one last time, but this time, Taichun is prepared. As Ji-hoon tries to grab his leg, a powerful spinning back kick lands on his stomach. Everything goes black before Ji-hoon's eyes. He can't even think, and at that moment, everyone thinks that Ji-hoon has officially lost. Chung Taichun is about to take Ji-hoon's streaming account, but Ji-hoon makes a miracle comeback. The reason is that Ji-hoon had specifically trained his core muscles to absorb this kick. He first goes into the toilet and tries to lure Taichun inside, but Taichun finds this move so stupid that he starts laughing. Ji-hoon uses his laughter for one last move, the baseball kick, and this kick has a psychological weakness in Taichun's heart. Jin Wenqing, who is watching the fight, finally reveals something shocking. "This is the same move I used in a tournament that ended Taichun's career. In a professional MMA tournament, Taichun was defeated by this very move, and after that, he never returned to the professional ring. And now, Ji-hoon is using the same move. As soon as Taichun recognizes this move, his psychological trauma is triggered, and without thinking, he makes the same gesture as someone tapping out. Then, Taichun finally surrenders. But Ji-hoon is so engrossed in the fight that he doesn't recognize Taichun's surrender. Hwang Mao starts shouting, "Stop! He has already lost!" But Ji-hoon's adrenaline is out of control. He is just following Ji-gae's 10-second rule. Then, Taichun becomes unconscious, and Ji-hoon suddenly realizes that if he doesn't control himself, Taichun could die. Ji-hoon starts reviving Taichun, massaging his blood circulation so he can return to normal. When Taichun finally regains consciousness, he immediately grabs Ji-hoon's throat. But then, Ji-hoon places an official Taekwondo Association badge watch in front of him. Seeing this, Taichun completely freezes. After the fight video is uploaded, it instantly gets 3 million views. But Ji-hoon doesn't know that this viral video is going to bring him a huge danger, because a new opponent is about to enter, while Ji-hoon, after defeating Taichun, internally thinks that maybe Taichun wasn't as strong as he thought. His doubt arises because when Taichun saw the Taekwondo Association badge, the expression on his face was that of a psychological defeat. But then Huang Mao shares shocking news. Bro, do you even know that Taichun has gone viral on the internet? The clip of Taichun becoming unconscious is trending, and people are saying that if Taichun does live streaming, he can instantly become famous. But Taichun is completely unaware of this beat because he is still playing video games at the gaming arcade. On the other hand, Q-Tian is practicing changing her voice tone because her voice is very rough and dad-like. But then a boy throws a fake snake at her, forcing her to react suddenly. These boys are actually prank-based content creators who target school students and shoot embarrassing content to post online. But when they realize that Q-Tian's reaction isn't that funny, they delete the video. Still, they mock Q-Tian and threaten her that if she doesn't stop her act, they will target her every day. Then, Huang Mao enters, but he fails to fight the boys and gets beaten up. Ji-hoon also arrives on time, but he decides that he should use Taichun's intimidation strategy. But just as the fight is about to start, Jin Wencheng appears and stands there, and everyone immediately calms down. The result of the fight is that the boys officially decide to stay away from Ji-hoon. After returning, Q-Tian tells Ji-hoon not to worry too much about the bullying gang because they are just attention seekers. But then, Huang Mao has an outburst and accuses Ji-hoon of missing the chance to beat them up. Huang Mao doesn't understand why Ji-hoon isn't taking violent action against them. Ji-hoon calmly replies that he can't fight in anger because Ji-gae's most important training is to keep emotions under control during a fight. But Huang Mao's real anger is that people are mocking the no-pain fight strategy. Q-Tian also accepts that she doesn't care if she is being mocked, but she gets angry when people underestimate the no-pain fight technique. That night, Q-Tian thinks about Ji-hoon's support and imagines a romantic moment with him. But in reality, Ji-hoon doesn't look as charming as he does in her imagination. On the other hand, Ji-hoon finally decides to talk to Bao Wei. But then a new problem arises. An overweight customer who always harasses Bao Wei is stalking her. Ji-hoon goes to the burger shop and finally meets Bao Wei. Bao Wei is obviously angry because Ji-hoon hasn't contacted her for a long time. She just brings a simple strawberry sundae, places it on the table in front of Ji-hoon, and leaves without saying a word. Ji-hoon understands that she is still angry, but then Bao Wei notices that Ji-hoon has written apology lines on his hand. Seeing this, she bursts out laughing. Ji-hoon immediately takes the chance and starts speaking many lines quickly. But Bao Wei's real problem wasn't this. Her problem was that Ji-hoon had hired a new editor who was a girl, and she was quite cute. Then, Q-Tian directly arrives there. Bao Wei is shocked to see her cute face. And then, Q-Tian directly gives Bao Wei a ginseng gift. Q-Tian says that Ji-hoon's emotional IQ is very low, so she has brought the gift on his behalf. The next day, Bao Wei accidentally falls while trying to avoid a snake and twists her ankle. And then, the pranksters who had targeted Q-Tian earlier come close to Bao Wei and say that their video could go viral. Seeing this, Jin Wencheng instantly gets angry and plans to beat up the boys. But then Ji-hoon also arrives there, and he decides to turn this into streaming content. Ji-hoon plans a live stream to publicly expose the pranksters. Through Huang Mao, he finds out that they are already influencers with 700,000 followers who appear very respectful online but actually create bullying content. If Ji-hoon directly fights them, he could be seen as the villain. Therefore, he creates a strategy where he forces them to expose themselves. He had seen a one versus many fighting strategy in Ji-gae's videos, but it seemed unrealistic to him, so he doesn't want to try it. This time, Ji-hoon wants to take smart revenge. Huang Mao starts deeply analyzing the pranksters' old videos, and he discovers something shocking. Many of the pranksters' viral videos are fake. For example, a video where a gangster is scaring a girl in an elevator. The entire video is 2 minutes long, but the building's highest floor is only the 7th, so the elevator shouldn't take that long. This confirms that the girl was actually a paid actress. Another video where the pranksters call the police to make a guy quit smoking. But the real reason was that they had called the police and told them that they had found a wanted criminal. But when Huang Mao went to the police station, he found out that these pranksters actually give false information to the police. They had told the police that they had seen a wanted criminal, which is why the police arrived. After gathering this information, Ji-hoon finally prepares a plan to trap the pranksters in their own game. Then, Lu Mei, a popular streamer, comes from behind, and asks Ji-hoon and Hwang Mao when they will do a live stream with her. Lu Mei shares an idea for a new prank video where he pretends to spill coffee on a girl. But Ji-hoon rejects this idea because he wants to create a video against fake pranksters, not create more fake pranks. The next day, Lu Mei actually shoots a video with the prankster group. He fools them with his acting and pretends to be interested in creating fake content. But when the pranksters openly admit that all their videos are scripted and they are just fooling the audience to earn money, Lu Mei secretly starts recording to expose them. The prankster group starts asking Lu Mei to shoot a fake video with Ji-hoon. They don't even believe that Ji-hoon actually defeated Chung Tai-chun. They say that Ji-hoon's fight was scripted and he is a fake hero. Lu Mei argues with them that Ji-hoon is not fake, but the prankster group doesn't care. We just need to edit the video to make it look like everything is fake. When Lu Mei refuses to support them, the pranksters bring out an old recording of him mocking the audience. But Lu Mei bluffs them. He also has a secretly recorded video where they admit that their content is scripted. When the prankster group is shocked by this, Ji-hoon and Hwang Mao enter, and now the fight officially begins. As soon as Ji-hoon enters, his presence creates a different aura. For the first time, Hwang Mao feels that Ji-hoon's confidence has reached a different level. The leader of the prankster group, Hat Guy, who seemed like the most experienced fighter, suddenly starts feeling nervous. This is a mental trick Ji-hoon learned from Ji-gae's videos. Ji-ga had explained a concept called the mantis strategy. In nature, a mantis uses exaggerated movements to intimidate its opponents so that it can win without fighting. Ji-hoon is doing the same. He is using his body language to make it seem like he is a professional fighter, and the prankster group falls for this tactic. But then, an unexpected problem arises. The height-increasing pads in Ji-hoon's shoes fall out. Now, the prankster group realizes that Ji-hoon was faking his height and intimidation. Ji-hoon has to retreat and goes into a narrow alley to use his next technique. After entering the narrow alley, Ji-hoon uses the low kick technique that he had practiced for a month. Jin Wencheng, who is watching the live stream, immediately announces that Ji-hoon has won, but others are confused. Ji-hoon looks physically weak, so how could he win? Jin Wencheng explains that Ji-hoon has practiced 10,000 low kicks in a month, and the guy who was hit by the low kick is actually paralyzed, but his ego is not letting him fall to the ground. Another guy is also hit by a low kick, and he can't walk either. And then, everyone realizes that Ji-hoon has become a dangerous fighter with just a month of training. But then, another shocking reveal happens. The third guy in the fight wasn't hit by any kick, but he also isn't moving. Jin Wencheng's MMA coach immediately announces, "This guy is frozen with fear." Hat Guy, who was the leader until now, mentally collapses because he can't understand whether he can actually win the fight or not. And then, QTN enters and takes a hostage. The prankster group directly surrenders. Ji-hoon's fight instantly goes viral on the live stream, crossing 2 million views. The prankster group is permanently banned. And finally, Ji-hoon secures another win. But then, another major problem arises. Bao Wei's stalker returns. This is the same overweight guy who had been harassing her before. When Bao Wei is about to be attacked, Jin Wencheng arrives to save her. But the stalker's weight and brute force are so strong that he knocks Jin Wencheng down. Ji-hoon directly intervenes, but the stalker is so strong that he easily knocks Ji-hoon down like cotton candy. And then, the police arrive and arrest the stalker. But after this fight, Ji-hoon's confidence completely collapses. Ji-hoon finally understands that there is a huge difference between real-world fights and internet fights. He goes into self-doubt after this fight. Hwang Mao explains to him that sometimes calling the police is the best option. But then, QTN shares another shocking piece of news. The stalker has made a viral post mocking Ji-hoon's loss. And on the internet, everyone is saying that Ji-hoon can only win scripted fights. Ji-hoon officially has an emotional breakdown, and then he watches another Ji-gae video, Newbie versus Professional Wrestler. Ji-ga directly says, "If you are a newbie, you can never defeat a professional grappler." Ji-hoon finally realizes that he has become addicted to fighting, and now he starts a live stream and officially announces, "I am coming back to defeat him." Ji-hoon realizes that you cannot defeat a professional wrestler with just strength. Wrestling fighters practice every part of their body, including their footwork and grip techniques, to an extreme level. Ji-gae's video clearly explained that if you face a wrestler, there is only one option: run. And Ji-hoon does exactly that, stepping back without any hesitation. At first, Hwang Mao thinks that Ji-hoon might be using a new strategy, like he did against the prankster group. But then, QTN explains that wrestlers have a basic drill called high-speed running on sand. This means that a wrestler doesn't just run, they also remain stable on any terrain. Ji-hoon quickly realizes that no matter what kicks he throws, his opponent isn't letting them have any effect. The wrestler literally picks him up like cotton candy and throws him to the ground. And then, Ji-hoon tries one final desperate move, the baseball kick. But then, an unexpected problem arises. His opponent's neck is so short and powerful that the kick has no effect. And then, the wrestler gives a warning, "Don't touch me." Ji-hoon takes the wrestler's warning as a weak point and tries to directly punch him in the head, but this is a trap. The wrestler immediately throws Ji-hoon in a a back slam. Huang Mao literally starts crying because he thinks Ji-hoon's bones are broken. But then everyone gets another shock. The wrestler has taken out a spine-like object. The live stream chat explodes. Oh my god, he has taken out Ji-hoon's spinal cord. But the real truth is that Ji-hoon was wearing protective gear, which absorbs the impact. Ji-hoon is now officially ready to execute his final move, Taekwondo's strongest attack, the back kick. Ji-hoon had actually gone to Taichun to train with him. At first, Taichun ignores him, but when Ji-hoon talks about the importance of Taekwondo, he finally agrees to train him. Taichun's biggest disappointment was that modern fighting styles considered Taekwondo irrelevant. His own dojo had even closed down, and coaching classes had started there. Therefore, when Ji-hoon said, "I will make Taekwondo famous on live streams," Taichun emotionally agreed. After learning the secret technique of the back kick, Ji-hoon finally uses it, and this kick lands directly on the wrestler's face. Seeing this kick, the wrestler goes into full rage mode. His psychological barrier breaks, and he starts picking up Ji-hoon without thinking. The live chat goes completely silent. The wrestler prepares Ji-hoon for another devastating move, the super throw. This time, Ji-hoon isn't wearing any protective gear, meaning if he takes this hit, he could end up in the hospital. And then, Ji-hoon finally realizes that he has only one option left: stand your ground. The wrestler picks up Ji-hoon, but at that moment, Ji-hoon's face is completely fearless. And then, the wrestler hesitates. The live stream chat goes completely silent because everyone is watching a monster fighter stopping his attack. And then, the wrestler finally puts Ji-hoon down. The wrestler, who was only fighting for social media popularity, reveals his real motivation. "I want to become famous so I can get a girlfriend." Hearing this, Ji-hoon fully realizes that the wrestler is just an insecure person who wants to show that he is strong. But in the live stream chat, thousands of comments are encouraging him. And then, Ji-hoon gives him some friendly advice. "Your YouTube career hasn't even started yet." The wrestler gets emotional seeing the live stream support and officially announces that he is quitting fighting. Ji-hoon's live stream officially breaks a record and goes viral. But during this journey, he has made the most important realization. Fighting is not just a thrill, it is an art. And then, Kyutian gives him shocking news that a new fighter has challenged him. And with this scene, Season 1 of this anime ends. If you liked this anime, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.